Good morning and welcome to 101010 at Poets House, the poetry library in downtown New York City. Poets House is the place for poetry, poets, and all things verse. I'm Dave Johnson, poet and playwright and your host of 101010, where we invite you at 10 a.m. on weekdays for 10 minutes to write a new poem. And in 10 days, you'll have 10 new poems. This morning on 101010 times 2 here at Poets House, we're looking at the poet Mary Oliver. And as you can see, we have many books here at Poets House. She has published a wealth of books. The Red Bird, Thirst, American Primitive, Blue Horses, Swan, right? The Leaf and the Cloud, and several other books. And what I want to discuss with you today is a poem where she directly addresses the you, or the audience, or the reader, if you will, and moves between the direct address and then a moving image, almost like a film, right? And she moves between those two, and you'll see what we're talking about. The poem we're looking at today is called Wild Geese. Wild Geese is her title for this one, and she opens it with a direct address to the reader. Wild Geese. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about your despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese high in the clean blue air are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things. Mary Oliver, Wild Geese. Let's look at this for just a moment, right? She opens Wild Geese with directly addressing you, right? And I can't stop reading. When I hear that first line, I must see what's coming next, because she says, you do not have to be good. How often have I wanted to be told that, right? You do not have to be good. And I'm like, really? I don't have to be good? Well, tell me more, right? And that's what you want to do in your poem, right? When you're writing a poem, you want to deliver that first line that brings the reader along, and she really does that. You do not have to be good. And she goes on to say, you do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting, right? It's like, okay, all right. You only have to, and you'll stop for a moment and say, what is it that I only have to do? If I don't have to be good, I don't have to walk on my knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting, but you only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. What an open thought she gives you there. The soft animal of your body, love what it loves. Tell me about your despair, yours, and I will tell you mine, right? She opens this right up to the reader, and then she moves, as I was saying, to this moving image away from that direct address. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, and she's giving you that film-like quality as it builds and builds. The mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese high in the clean blue air are heading home again. And then she comes back to you, whoever you are. No matter how lonely, the world offers to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things. I want you to think about this poem for a few minutes this morning, and I want you to write your very own poem with the direct address, right? Just start with you. Right? She says you do not have to be good, right? So the direct address, and the you could be a specific person that you're talking to, or you could just be talking to us as readers, right? And then after you get that you, maybe you repeat that you the way she does, but then I want you to move away from the you and create a moving image. The sense that the image moves away. Almost think of it as a sort of in film where you pan away, right? She pans away, you see the image of the wild geese, right? Heading for home, right? The landscape, the deep trees, the prairies, right? And then she pulls the camera back, so to speak, and back to you. Okay, let's see where you go with this. Take a few minutes with this morning, and let's see what you come up with. I'm going to try mine. You try yours, okay? Okay, we see Mary Oliver's poem, Wild Geese, this morning, and she has this direct address, right? That she says, you do not have to be good. You do not have to. And that's how she directs us with that direct address this morning. You don't have to start necessarily with the word you, but I want you to use that direct address approach. And then after you've repeated that kind of address a couple of times, I want you then just to create what we're calling the moving image, the image that moves away from the you, and almost like a sort of imagining a panning of a film, right, a film camera to an image that's far away, and then you could come back and speak direct to that you, if you will, as well, or to whoever you're speaking to. And again, the direct address can be to a specific person or it could be to a specific audience, right? We'll see what we come up with. I'm going to try this morning. Instead of you, I'm going to try my direct address with just listen. I like this word listen. I like the sound of that. And it's going to be a direct address to my audience, okay? Listen is how I'm going to open this poem. Listen. Listen to the water on the edge of the leaves. I'm going to repeat that again. Listen. All right? Just like she repeated the word you, I'm going to repeat the word listen. Listen to the water on the edge of the leaves. Listen to the voice of the playing child in the distance. Right? And then I'm going to pan away from that, right? Listen to the water on the edge of the leaves. Listen to the voice of the playing child in the distance. Forget all the streets of broken promises. I have no idea where this is going. It's just as it goes. Listen to the water on the edge of the leaves. Listen to the voice of the playing child in the distance. Forget all the streets of broken promises. And now I'm going to pan away, right? I'm going to pan away and create that image. See where it goes. Forget all the streets of broken promises. The glass is healed in the heat. The layers of trees open to the sky. Okay? So I've moved away, right? I've moved away here by using the image. The glass is healed, the glass is healed in the heat. The layers of trees open to the sky. You and your ears give life for the evening. I have no idea where this was going, right? I might continue a bit more, but this is what I've got so far. Listen to the water on the edge of the leaves. Listen to the voice of the playing child in the distance. Forget all the streets of broken promises. The glass is healed in the heat. The layers of trees open to the sky. You and your ears give life for the evening, right? So we started out with a direct address, first 2 moments here, right? And then I move away and I go to the moving image here in the next 3 lines, and then I return back to the direct address for my closing, right? So you try the same thing. I'm going to give it a little title. Maybe I'm just going to call it Listen, right? Maybe that's it. That's what I'm going to call it for now. I may change it later, but for now, that's it. That's my poem. Take about 10 minutes, create your poem, and when you finish, share it with us at the address on the screen. We have so many wonderful books of Mary Oliver's work here at Poets House, and I wanted to share one more poem with you. This one comes from a book she published many years ago called American Primitive. And in this book there is a poem called In Blackwater Woods. In Blackwater Woods. Look, the trees are turning their own bodies into pillars of light, are giving off the rich fragrance of cinnamon and fulfillment. The long tapers of cattails are bursting and floating away over the blue shoulders of the ponds. And every pond, no matter what its name is nameless now. Every year, everything I have ever learned in my lifetime leads back to this: the fires and the black river of loss, whose other side is salvation, whose meaning none of us will ever know. To live in this world, you must be able to do 3 things: to love what is mortal, to hold it against your bones knowing your own life depends on it, and when the time comes to let it go, to let it go. In Blackwater Woods, Mary Oliver from American Primitive. We'll see you next time right here on 10 10 10 times 2 at Poets House.